Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Banana and this is just a small review video where I talk about the games that I've been playing over the course of the last weeks. So that are mainly Fallout 4, KingdomCome, Deliverance, and that's what you've seen on my channel. But what you haven't seen is Star Wars Battlefront. I've been playing this on and off, well, when I'm not on camera. Or recording actually. And I think I share some thoughts about those games with you. So first off, Fallout 4. Since we've been playing this on the channel, I think I'll start with that. What I really like about Fallout 4 is the open world and the atmosphere. So you can basically do whatever the hell you want and just run around, have your own adventure, and yeah, like do whatever you think is the thing you want to do. I actually kind of like the gameplay, how the guns work and, melee mode, stealth. It's really well rounded, really well balanced. And one thing that I really want to address, that's of course for PC only, are the mods. And yes, I've been looking through the mods during my off time, and I've seen quite some good ones. There are a lot of small customizations at the moment, but I think this has a lot of potential that we will see some really huge, changes in the game over the course of the next year or so. What's a bit, disappointing or a bit annoying about the game is the balance or the auto-scaling of all the enemies, obviously, that happens. And at least I've been thinking that I've ran into a slump where my character is a bit weaker than the enemies. So the enemies scaled a bit faster than my character did. So I'm a bit, not so powerful as I could be. So there is a slight, slowdown in my character power level, or the rise of my character power level, and not in the power of enemies. But that's not too bad. I can get behind that. You can work through that. That's not really a problem. The graphics in this game are, plus and minus, I've written down here in my little book. I'd say it looks okay, but it could look a bit better. That's, I'm not really the huge graphics kind of guy. Oh my god, it doesn't look like super whatever, the 4K textures or whatnot. But it looks alright, and it has a nice look to it. It doesn't need to be any better, but it shouldn't be any worse. And then again, there could be mods that fix that or improve that. There are some ENBs out there, I've seen that. But I didn't want to fiddle with this at the moment. So, some things that aren't really there where I would like them to be are the animations, some bugs, and the loading times. So, I really think the animations look a bit clunky. And once again, it's not really a, oh my god, you can't play this kind of thing, but still, it's a bit annoying. Some of them look like they've been directly taken out of New Vegas and or Skyrim, and they looked a bit clunky there too. What I like is the jumping animation. It looks way better than in Skyrim, because that was a bit stupid. But anyways, once again, just some minor things. So if you're into open world games, and if you like, just post-apocalyptic scenarios, then I could recommend this. I could really recommend this. Also, I would really say get it for PC, because mods are going to change this game, and you can play it again and again and again with different scenarios, different mods, different looks, and you have a fresh experience all the way through. So that's about what I wanted to say about Fallout 4. So moving on to the next game that I've been playing on the channel. So that would be KingdomCome Deliverance, the 0.4 alpha and the 0.5 alpha. So the difference between those two is that the 0.5 version also has some, improved lighting, some improved graphics, you could say. And also, it has a crime system. So it's not a huge deal, in my opinion. But anyways. Okay, so first of all, I want to address the graphics. In my opinion, it looks really good. And I think the engine that they've been using, I think it's the CryEngine, is actually a good choice for that. It looks good. It looks really good. Some of the textures might need some polishing here and there, but then again, it's an alpha, and I've been mentioning this a lot during my videos, that you shouldn't really judge the game or the finished game by what you see in the alpha, because it's an alpha version and it's still in development. What I also like about the game is the goal that they're setting themselves. So Warhorse Studios, the developers of this game, have a really nice, goal they want to achieve, which is a realistic medieval kind of game. And that's the next point. That's a really nice setting. I like the setting. I like it's I think 1403, I think, where the game is set. And that's a really nice idea, that it's set in medieval Europe, in Bohemia, and they try to make it as realistic and what it looked like in the time. That's a really nice goal, and I'm really looking forward to what they do with that. Another plus is the combat, and I think that's debatable, because I personally like the combat system, because it's a bit slower, and you could say it's tactical, but it's not really tactical. But the thing is, it doesn't feel like you're just mashing a button and hitting some enemy. It's more you circle them, you try to block, try to get the pattern. It's a bit more Dark Souls-y, you could say, without the dodge rolling. And it kind of has more a realistic feeling to it. I don't know how to describe it. And the animations look pretty good. I've been watching some historical martial arts, or historical European martial arts, and I know that the developers are working with some of the instructors of this martial arts type. So they've been putting a lot of effort into a realistic combat system, and I really like that. So that's the next point that I've written down. Yes, they're trying to be realistic, but I hope that they're not letting this slide towards bad gameplay. And I know I've said this in some of my videos. Yes, realism is good, but please don't sacrifice gameplay. For example, inventory weight. Yes, you can't just walk around with 700 swords and 3 breastplates and I don't know what. I know that, and that's where some people are like, oh my god, that's so unrealistic. How can you carry 2 shields, 7 swords, 3 daggers? Well, it's just for gameplay's sake. Maybe you want to try different weapons, because you're playing this game and you don't know what you really want to use. So you have, I don't know, a longsword and an axe, for example, and maybe a dagger, because you kind of want to try those things and see what the difference in gameplay is. And it's really inconvenient that you maybe have to run, I don't know, to the tavern where your stash is, and just put down the longsword and take out your axe, or I don't know, put down your axe and take your halberd or whatever. So as long as you keep this at a reasonable level, I'd say screw realism, take enjoyable gameplay. And I think they've balanced it really well at the moment. So I'm really curious for the beta, which should be coming rather soonish if they keep, they're, at the end of 2015 time frame. If not, it's okay for me. I'd rather enjoy more content at a bit later date than just some tiny little sprinkles here and there. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So 3 things that I don't like about it is, first of all, the bugs. Yes, it is an alpha version, so I can't really put this at a really disappointing point or something, you'd be really upset about it. It's an alpha, there are bugs. So that's fine, as long as they get polished out, no problem there. Another thing, the alpha is actually rather short. I think I've made about 12 to 13 videos at about maybe 30 to 40 minutes time frame. So as you can see, there is not a lot to do in the alpha. Then again, it's an alpha version. It's just to give you a kind of a taste, a flavor, to see what the real game will be about. But if you think you get like a real game right now, I just wanted to tell you that the alpha is actually very short. But on the other hand, I think it's kind of worth it to get a feel for what the real game will be, or if you just watch some videos of it and then decide if you like it or not. But yeah, I'm really excited about this game. I can't really tell you how much I would love to play the full version right now. But anyways, and the last part, that's actually the most more or less a suggestion for the developers, is the face variety. I don't like it in games when everybody looks the same. It's really annoying. I've been playing The Witcher 3, and the developers of KingdomCome stated that they wanted to have like the storytelling of The Witcher. That's one of their goals. And there's one thing, I know that's not really related, but there's one thing that they should address. Please, please, please get more different faces. I think it really breaks immersion when, I don't know, a beggar has the same face as the next, I don't know, a duke, and as the guard captain, and then you see the same face at a guard, and then you see the same face at a tavern patron, and I think that really breaks immersion for me. You don't really see that when you, I don't know, walk on the street. You don't see the same person 5 times unless you run into the same person 5 times. But I think that's something that you should address. And I know it sounds lazy, but I think in Skyrim it's rather well done under, well, quotation marks, I think. But since all the guards have full visor helmets, you can't really tell them apart. They're just guards, and that's that. They're not important, actually. They just have a full visor helmet. You can't see their faces, and they're just guards. You don't really care about them. So they can have the same face. Because, well, on the other hand, if you can loot the helmet, then not. But still, you get the point. Different faces are, in my opinion, really, really valuable when it comes to immersion. Alright, so overall, I would say it's a really enjoyable game, and I'm really looking forward to the full release in summer 16. That's what they're planning to do. Let's see if it keeps, if they can keep the date. If not, I'm okay with October or, autumn or fall in 2016. That's okay too. Anyways, the last game that I want to discuss in this little, not really video, right? But anyways, moving on, is Star Wars Battlefront. I've been playing it for, I don't know, I can't really tell how much I've been playing it. I'm rank 25-ish? So I would say about 25 hours. That should be it. So what I've been mainly playing is Walker Assault. That's the one that you've been seeing in the beta version. where you have to protect your AT-ATs as the Imperials or to destroy them as the Rebels. And also I've been playing a bit of Supremacy, that's more of a get some checkpoints or control points and push your opponents off the map. Some fighter assault, I think it's called, just, aerial battles, spaceship versus spaceship. Not really much though. I think I played Droid Run once, but that's just to give you an overview of my experiences, so you know what my basis is when I talk about this game. So first of all, I'd say the graphics, okay? The graphics are really, really on point. It looks very nice. A beautiful game. The blaster gameplay is also very, very nice. I think the guns, all the guns, are actually pretty well balanced. Every single gun has its use. Some of them are more for ranged combat, some of them are on medium range, some of them are for short range. Everything has kind of its own flavor, and some of them are really, really bad when it comes to long range engagements. You will lose out against a long range blaster on that fight. So that's really good. I mean, it brings variety, and you can choose your own combat style with the blaster, I think. Also, when I'm talking about blasters, I really have to say the sound in the game is also very, very good. It has a really Star Wars-y feel to it. I know that's a really weird adjective that I'm using, or adverb. It's graphically and the sound, it makes it a really nice atmosphere. It feels like Star Wars, really. I don't know how to describe it a little bit better. It's really nice when the blasters go off next to you and the TIE fighters are roaring over your head, and that's it. It sounds good, and it has a really nice feel to it. Okay, and also the loading times. That's another point that I've written down. They're really good, I think, at least on my machine. It's I don't know. You feel like playing just a map, have the time for it. You start the game, you load into a map in about 2 minutes, at least on my machine, and I've not installed it on an SSD, so it's just on my hard drive. And you're in the game. Boom. Just like that. So that's really good, I think. That's something that I enjoy a lot. So coming to the more, negative points. First of all, the map pool. I think there aren't enough maps at the moment, really. And I think it's really cheap, or a really weird tactic to just release 4 maps for Walker Assault. Yes, there are only four maps for Walker Assault. And be like, yeah, more maps will come in paid DLCs. Haha. Give us your money, peasants. I think that's not really nice. The 4 maps, don't get me wrong, the 4 maps are really, you couldn't say balanced, but they look good and they play okay-ish and stuff like that. But still, only 4 maps, that's a bit boring. I'd really like to see more of them. There are some different ones for other game types. So the droids run maps are different, and I think like team deathmatch is different, or have different map pools. But Walker Assault and Supremacy share their map pool, and there are only 4. So 4 maps for Walker Assault, and those are the same for Supremacy. So I don't know. It seems a bit low on the map count. Second, and that's been addressed in a recent patch, was that maps are just horribly unbalanced. And if you have played the beta, you know that Walker Assault on Hoth was, about 18 out of 20 games, it was a win for the Imperials. And I think that was, they addressed it. They said, yes, it was too hard for the Rebels, so they changed it. And from release to I think 1st of December, that was when the patch hit, it was the other way around. Or more or less. It was, I think, 16 out of 20 went to the rebels. Now it's a bit better. They addressed it rather well. So I think they slowly get the feel for balancing the game out, or this game mode out. And I think it's a learning curve that the developers have to go through, so that's alright. But at least they're working on the imbalance of the maps. That's something. What they also have to address, in my opinion, is the imbalance of the frickin' explosives. And yes, I'm just starting to swear because these are the points that are really annoying in the game. It's an explosive fest, really. You run somewhere, you get a grenade in your face. You run somewhere else, you get a grenade in your face. You run somewhere completely different, you get a grenade launcher in your face. You run somewhere else, someone shoots a rocket at you. It's basically, you'll die due to explosives more often than you die through blasters. And while it has been getting a bit better lately, because I think they nerfed it somewhat, but it was really annoying in Walker Assault, because, it's one team tries to push in and the other team tries to defend. And as long as there is some kind of funnel where the assaulting team has to go through, it's just grenade after grenade after grenade after grenade after grenade after grenade after grenade. And that's just really annoying. So I think that's something that should be addressed a bit more. Maybe even take out the freaking grenades. Yeah, sure, thermal detonators are something in Star Wars, but still, gameplay is better than realism, under quotation marks here. So that's the explosives. The next thing, towers, or stationary weapon systems, right? Turbo lasers or whatever. I think the damage they deal to infantry should be reduced drastically, because it's just super annoying. Those tower camping is something that's just, I can't express how annoying it is. When you just run around the corner, someone sits in this freaking tower and you're dead. So I can see that towers are a good thing to get rid of vehicles, right? That's good. The turbo lasers in one of the maps is really satisfying when you sit in the turbo laser and you shoot down a TIE interceptor or something with it, or an X-wing or whatever. It's really satisfying, and those are actually the automated the defense things on the Death Star that you see in the movies. So it's actually an anti-air gun, or at least that's what it's shown in the movies, right? So yeah, it's cool when you shoot down a freaking, TIE fighter or a rebel ship. That's awesome. But it deals a ton of damage to infantry, and it is in a perfect place to just shoot at people that are spawning. So, you just jump into this stupid turbo laser, aim at one point, and press fire. And people will just spawn or run, because that's one of the funnels I've been talking about. Run right into it, and you just get a ton of kills. And that's something that seems really stupid. Something like that encourages really weird gameplay. I don't know. It just encourages stupid gameplay and lame gameplay. And now to the last point that I've written down in all caps. It's the spawn points, the spawn system. I just said that you could spawn right into the firing range of a turbo laser, but it's even worse than that. It happened to me, I don't know how many times, that I died and spawned right into 5 enemies and died again. And then I spawned right in firing range and in the firing line of sight, so just right in front of an AT-AT, which promptly killed me again. And then I spawned right into an orbital strike. Then I died again. So it just happens that you are on a dying streak. You could even call that you die, press respawn, and die instantly again before you can even do anything. And that's not even frustrating, that's just horrible. That's completely... I don't know, is there even a word that describes frustrating, but it's worse than that? It just sucks out the fun, and you're super salty. You don't even want to play again. I got spawned in front of an enemy Boba Fett 3 times. He killed me, I spawned right in front of him. He killed me again, I spawned right in front of him, and I got killed again. How is that even a thing? How can... I don't know. Please, address these spawn points. It's super annoying and it's just the worst. So if you're having a bad temper, I wouldn't recommend this game to you, because you're going to throw your mouse against the wall and, I don't know, kill the next person that comes into your room. It's really, really annoying. But to sum it all up, despite those negative points, I actually can't put the game down. Yes, sometimes I just rage quit out because I died 5 times before I even did anything. Or, spawned, ran 3 meters and got killed by the AT-AT or whatever. But still, I turn it off, get a coffee or tea or whatever, come back, and then turn the game on again. I don't know why. It's kind of addicting to me. I don't know. Maybe it's the Star Wars feel. Yeah, I'm kind of a fan. So if you're a Star Wars fan and you like the atmosphere and you like shooters, could be your game. Could be your game. So yeah, I think I've addressed all the points that I wanted to say, and it's become a way longer video than I anticipated. So if you're still listening to this, thanks for hearing me rant or listening to me rant about the games that I've been playing. And I hope I see you next time. So, as always, auf Wiedersehen.